Bro, Final Fantasy VI, one of the greatest games ever made, dude, had a collab with Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. And my soul is crushed. Joking aside, I do think that collab is really cool. However, I have to bring it up, man. Final Fantasy VI is one of the coolest games ever, and while I'm not in the camp that necessarily believes it needs a remake, it is a game that I love, that I would also love to see come back with some kind of modern paint to it. Whether that's HD 2D or 3D, whatever it is they want to do, I would love to see it. And we have already seen glimpses of it within things like the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. They actually did an HD 2D scene for the opera scene, and it was beautiful. They even added lyrics to it and everything. I loved it. It got me emotional. It was so good. And now with this collab with Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, we actually get to see one of the most iconic scenes from that game, the opening with the title scroll in HD 2D, and it looks, dude, I literally get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. You see this shit? I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because of how fucking incredible it looked. With Terra's theme going on in the background, dude. Oh my God, it was so sick. We got to see not only Terra, we got to see Locke, my fucking boy Locke. We got to see Edgar, that fucking pedophile. We got to see only 3 of them. We only got to see 3 of the party members look damn good, and the art, the 2D art that they drew, not like 2D like pixel, 2D like, you know, like they drew art, looks gorgeous. I could not believe how good all of this looked. However, this is not the first time they've done something like this in HD 2D with Final Fantasy. They did do this in 2024 with Final Fantasy IV, and that looked really good as well. Let me tell you, Cecil, you're looking good in HD 2D. But it brought to mind this video to me. If this can exist, right? Obviously, you know, creating a collab and just making some sprites and maybe doing a couple of the iconic scenes, that's gonna take far less time than making a full game. But seeing this potential, seeing how good it could look, just has me sitting down wanting to ask Square, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's take a look at some of the HD 2D games that have come out, right? First one's being Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. Octopath 1 was a huge success. Octopath 2 did pretty well, from what I know. There was Live Alive, that did pretty well. But the big one was Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. And I did play that, and it was fantastic. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake exceeded, all right? This never happens. Exceeded Square's expectations in sales. It sold very well, and it's continuing to sell well even now. It has legs, it's doing well. That makes me sit here and look at, well, obviously, you know, they did remakes of Live Alive, which is a much smaller JRPG, but they did a remake of a much larger JRPG, and it's the best-selling HD 2D game ever. We got Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D coming out this year, and that's probably gonna do super well as well. Well, what's the other game that Square owns, or IP that Square owns, that's absolutely massive, that has a huge legacy with 2D? It's Final Fantasy. If we can see this kind of success from Dragon Quest, which I would love to see continue with stuff like 4, 5, and 6, then we should also see the original 6. Oh my God. I'm sorry, it just gets me so excited thinking about it. The original 6 Final Fantasy. Excuse me. That was disgusting. Oh my God. Turn away, mute the video, drop a dislike. Jesus. We should also see the original 6 Final Fantasies brought up in the same manner. I think those would sell insanely well. And if I remember correctly, in the article that talked about Dragon Quest III HD 2D and its success, a lot of that is because those games don't cost as much money to make. Now, you might be wondering, well, why would Team Asana want to do that? Why would they want to remake Final Fantasy 6 or 4 or you know, 1, 2, 3, or 5? 5 remake would go hard as well, especially because, and I do have notes in front of me on this, so they did make Final Fantasy the 4 Heroes of Light. They also made the FF3 and FF4 remakes. If you didn't know, those games did get remakes. There were 3D remakes on the Nintendo DS original, and they were great from what I understand. I didn't play them. I just started Bravely Default right now, okay? And Bravely Default was a series that they wanted to make because they didn't want to keep making Final Fantasy remakes forever. They wanted to create an original IP that ended up becoming Bravely Default, and soon after Bravely Second, Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default 2, Octopath Traveler 2, etc., etc. Team Asano has grown to such a big team. They're one of the biggest teams at Square, I would assume, right now. Not like in size, but in terms of like revenue that they bring in. I could be wrong on this, but I'm also pretty sure that they do outsource a lot of the development on those games. Like Octopath 2, I believe, was mostly developed by Acquire, with a lot of the like writing and all that kind of stuff handled by Team Asano. Well, right now, Team Asano is capable of creating a new IP with Elliot, which looks fucking phenomenal. They're capable of creating a new sequel, or technically prequel, with Octopath Traveler 0. Granted, that is using the blueprint of Champions of the Continent, but still. And they are capable of creating remakes of very popular classic NES, SNES games with Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. So I see no reason, maybe after Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, and hopefully 4, 5, 6, I think 7 as well was also, I think that one actually might have been on PS1 if I remember, and had like 3D environments. But either way, my point being, Dragon Quest, go ahead, you know, get through those. But at some point, you're gonna run out of those remakes, and you gotta touch Final Fantasy. I know a lot of people want to see something like Final Fantasy VI with Amano's art brought to life, and that would be really cool too. I fucking love Amano's art. However, I don't know how feasible that would be, or how, like, when I try and imagine that, like how to create a game world out of that and in motion, I like struggle to picture it. Whereas something like HD 2D or a 3D remake, which would not happen, that would just cost way too much money, that I can picture, and it feels tangible, and it tastes real fucking good. So Square, I'm pleading with you. Yes, Final Fantasy VI does not need a remake, but god damn it, I want it, and you cannot tantalize me by showing me that fucking FF6 Octopath crossover. Cause my god, that looks good.